water, earth, fire, air.
Hi guys, in this guide you will learn the quickest steps to get all fighting styles without wasting time. I will be introducing all styles with order for obtainment, mastery, pros and cons. I will start with prerequisites, so check timestamps in the description. Step 1 is to change your stats. You get 3 stat point per level. Always split stats 2/3 melee and 1/3 defense or half-half. This will force you to train observation while staying healthy fighting NPC. Step number 2 is having a good fruit, as having one can boost your grinding speed significantly. For first C I recommend logias such as smoke, light or magma. You are immune to NPC without aura. Smoke is very good since you only use it for elemental immunity, and it is extremely easy to get. For second and third C use Buddha only. Try to trade for it, as it is high on demand. It has 5 times normal attack range and is perfect for autoclick. Step 3 is to choose your race. Races are time efficient only if used correctly, so it is important in the long run. A short summary can be found at the end of this prerequisite. In my opinion, Cyborg is very good for late grinding, especially with V3 and V4 form. It passively gives 10% defense against sword, melee and guns, while 15% of all damage done to you turns into energy, but the V3 is why it is so powerful. It gives 30% defense and 33 ticks of damage. Tick can do lots of damage as it scales by level. It has an AoE effect with decent range, and it applies max damage to all enemies nearby, and it does not split between them. Even better, it works with both unawakened and awakened Buddha. It also works on other transformations, so it's easy to kite with it. However, the damage is not affected by aura. You can see they both do 5,470 damage. Range is not increased by Buddha, so it does not allow you immunity. This is not a bad thing, as you can spend time to practice observation. Energy core lasts 6.5 seconds and has a very long 30-second cooldown, so use it whenever you can. Cyborg is your best PVE friend if you get V4 early. I recommend starting energy control. You get travel move, and orbs do chain lightning damage to nearby NPC. Aftershock does medium damage burn, and it can be applied to enemies through the energy orbs. So for fastest grinding, get 2 gears of energy control and 1 gear of aftershock. Buddha is broken as every auto attack applies chain damage and aftershock burn. During V4, energy core generates damage orbs per tick and applies aftershock to nearby enemies. Also, it is so damn satisfying. Ghoul race is one of the best as it provides many PvE buffs, especially during night. It gives speed, regeneration, 25% player leech, and 5% NPC leech. Heightened Senses is best PvE V3. It gives 5% damage, 10% speed, and 15% defense. You can also use skills on 40% cooldown, making it very good for spamming. However, it is very hard to get, and the best way is to server hop for the boss, since the Hellfire Torch has only 2% drop rate. Heightened Senses lasts around 8 seconds, with 25 seconds cooldown. You also don't get speed or regeneration buffs during daytime. Life Leech only works for melee, but we are grinding for it. Human is a great race for grinding. It's got good movement and longer flash step range. It gives one more dodge with faster instinct regeneration, so you can train instinct faster. V3 also provides additional damage based on missing health. However, V3 only lasts 6 seconds with a 20-second cooldown. It does not provide defense buffs, so you are weak without Buddha range. Overall, I will rank Human first as it is cheap and gives overall good buffs, plus you only need V2. Then Ghoul as second. It gives life leech and extra buffs on V3, but it is hard to get. Then finally Cyborg. It gives good defense and area damage on V3, but extremely hard to get. Other races not worth, as they only give defense and no damage. Final prerequisite is items choice. Items give you many buffs that makes your grinding smoother. I also suggest not to spend belly on any equipment, if possible, as the ones from NPC drops are better, and you are just wasting money, which can be used to get fighting styles. For first C, get coat. You get it from killing Vice Admiral and gives 10% melee damage and 200 energy boost. It's good, but gives no health, so be careful around bosses. Another good alternative is Black Cape. It gives 100 energy plus 5% to all damage on 100 health. It's more balanced, resulting in less risk, so I recommend for beginners. You can get it in this tower at Marine Ford for 50,000 belly. For second C, I recommend Ghoul Mask. It gives 35% movement speed, 500 energy, 10% vamp on players, and 2.5% vamp on NPC. Missing health is made up by life leech and is best paired with Buddha, as you heal extremely fast. It is also really good for soloing raids when you're not max level through life leech. It only costs 50 ectoplasm and can be bought by El Perro NPC on right side of first floor haunted ship. However, if you just arrived in second C, you should get Warrior's Helmet. It gives 12.5% melee and sword damage and 5% faster melee and sword skill cooldown. It is good if you cannot afford Ghoul Mask yet pre-level 1000, and good for Buddha spam, but you lack health and no movement speed. You can get it from Bartillo at Cafe after you finish the level 850 Colosseum quest. Another final alternative to Warrior Helmet is Black Spiky Coat. Note that it is very different than the blue and red versions. It gives 200 energy, 200 health, and 7.5% all damage. You can play it safe, and it is the best equipment until the Ghoul Mask. You can only get black version from killing Jeremy boss on top of hill. For third C, I recommend Hunter's Cape. It gives 750 health, 80% speed, and 10% damage on melee sword and gun. It has all-round survivability and damage, while being useful for quick traveling. You can get it easily from Elite Hunter, and the colors are only cosmetic. Now that we're done with prerequisites, let's move on to the actual melee styles. I'll categorize the fighting styles into their respective Cs, and explain in order of moves, pros, cons, and AFK power. I will explain the grinding order for each C, so stay tuned. First C. There are 4 obtainable fighting styles in first C: Combat, Dark Step, Electric, and Water Kung Fu. We will also get Aura as soon as possible. All 4 V1 fighting styles are good for AFK, since they have no dashes. You can easily exploit this strength with Buddha or Logia. However, our long-term plan is to get these V1 styles to 400 mastery as fast as possible. They have lower damage than their V2 counterparts, so it is a pain to level mastery in second or third C. First is Combat, obtained from the start of the game. You can AFK grind with it. Drag NPCs with Z move to save time. All moves have area damage, so gather NPCs together. Only get mastery to approx 30. You should be on Pirate Village and collect these chests. After getting 40,000 belly, get aura and air jump ASAP, as the earlier the better it is to master them. After, buy dark step once you finish getting chests and quests for 150,000. It is the cheapest fighting style aside from combat, and is hard to get mastery with it, and has poor M1 speed. As without overheat, it has very low damage, so get rid of it to 400 mastery ASAP. Many people will get electric next, but I save enough for water kung fu, because Sharkman or water kung fu V2 is available in C2, and electric V2 is in C3. So I will save time to immediately buy Sharkman once I get to C2, instead of leveling electric and waiting for Eclaw. It is relatively cheap and has very fast M1. Also, there are no dashes, so it's one of the best for AFK. I will continue to use water kung fu until 400 mastery. Second C. For second C, our main focus is to rush for superhuman. Then we will focus in getting Sharkman and Death Step after. There are 4 new obtainable fighting styles: Dragon Breath, Death Step, Sharkman Karate, and Superhuman. Here is a quick recap of the grinding plan. From level 700 to 1100, grind water kung fu to 400 mastery and AFK dark step between 340 to 400 mastery. After level 1100, when raids unlocked, rush to get Dragon Breath to 300 mastery. Also buy electric and AFK to 300 mastery. When all V1 melee if 300 mastery get superhuman, then grind electric to 400 mastery and after superhuman. Continuing, I'll make a detailed explanation for why this is the best way. After water kung fu and dark step, you get Dragon Breath. It has good damage and decently fast M1. However, you cannot AFK grind, as it has a dash on 4th auto. So you must gain mastery as fast as possible and use a non-dash melee for AFK to save time. This is where electric comes in. It has high damage and very fast M1. Also, it has no dashes, so it complements AFK for Dragon Breath very well. Once all V1 melee reaches 300 mastery, you got Superhuman. It has very good damage, but relatively slow M1. It also doesn't cost frags, so it is not as demanding as other fighting styles. However, we don't have to grind mastery on this now, as its only progression is God Human, which is late in the PVE game. So we should rather focus on V2 styles. The total cost for C2 is 3.5 million belly and 1,500 frags. By level 1500, you should have mastery, 400 on water kung fu, 400 on electric, 300 or 400 on Dragon Breath, near 400 on dark step, and finally around 300 for superhuman. I will leave Sharkman and Death Step to C3, as without Game Pass mastery, it is impossible to get both in C2. Third C. In third C, there are 4 new styles: Electric Claw, Dragon Talon, God Human, and Sanguine Art. Here we want to get God Human ASAP, as it is considered the final and hardest style to get. But it has a ton of requirements, so we better get to work right now. Here's the grinding plan. If you have not finished with 400 mastery on Dark Step, Dragon Breath or Superhuman, finish those first. Rush grind for 100 mastery on Dragon Breath and AFK with Dark Step, then Superhuman. When those are done, do raids and buy Sharkman and Electric together. Grind Electric to 400 mastery and AFK Sharkman to 400 mastery. You will be around Haunted Ship at this time, so grind Bones to get Flame Essence and buy Dragon Talon. At the same time, get Death Step. Grind Dragon Talon to 400 mastery and AFK Death Step to 400 mastery. Then collect any missing materials to get God Human. If you hadn't spent belly on gacha or anything, you should be fine. After God Human, go Leviathan hunt with Beast Hunter and collect missing materials to finally get Sanguine Art. Continuing, I will make a detailed explanation as to why this is. First up, we got E-Claw. I'd say it is the worst PvE fighting style ever, as every M1 has a dash. This makes it very hard for grind, even if you have Buddha. But it is very easy to get and not expensive, as you just have to run fast for the quest. So try to get this style to 400 mastery ASAP. Next is Sharkman Karate. It has high damage and extremely fast M1s. It is one of the best for AFK and very good for raids, as all moves can hit NPC with Buddha. It is also the cheapest Vita style, tied with Death Step. Due to its high AFK and PvE power, it complements the poor E-Claw very well. After E-Claw is 400 mastery by the Death Step. It has decently fast M1, but very mid damage without flames. However, unlike V1 version, it is viable enough for AFK grind, as all moves work on Buddha and Logia. If your Sharkman is still not for 100 mastery, use Death Step as grind and Sharkman as AFK. This is because during grind, you can toggle V-flames so grinding is faster. Finally, we are on Dragon Talon, the last step before God Human. You should be above or around the level of Haunted Castle when you are ready to get it. It has the highest damage of all melee, but like its V1 has a dash on every third auto. Also, you need to grind a lot of bones to get Flame Essence. And that is why I put it as the last Vita style, as you can level while getting bones for money, frags and 2x XP. If your Death Step isn't 400 mastery yet, plan to grind D-Talon and AFK Death Step. If you're lucky, you will get 400 mastery in no time, through the double EXP boost from bones, as it boosts mastery too. When you have 400 mastery on all Vita fighting styles, congrats, you can get God Human. It has relatively high damage, but decent M1 speed. Also, its moves are hard to hit, especially when Buddha transformed. In addition, only the X move can hit Sea Beast or boats, so it's not good for sea events. This will be a problem in getting Sanguine Art, so switch to Sharkman as all moves can hit Leviathan. When grinding mastery, quickly tap X move, as it has low end lag and gives additional damage with small stun. Z and C moves fling NPC far away, so I don't recommend using them. After you've done Leviathan and to Blackbeards, you can easily get Sanguine from Shafi. It is the best PvE melee ever created. Z move gives life steal, and C move as auto aim even if not landed. Also, it has 1.5 times attack range, on top of having the fastest M1. All moves hit Sea Beast and boats, and it also does good damage. I'll always recommend bringing Sanguine to any PvE scenario, especially sea events. It is the latest fighting style as of update 22, so maybe there's more to come. Overall, I had plenty fun speedrunning a completely new account for this video. So if you want a guide on how I got max level in 4 days, please leave a comment, like and sub. If you guys want fast progress, please join my Discord server. There are plenty giveaways like game passes and fruits, and to free PS servers open to anyone. I will help with grinding, so please join, and link is in the description. See you all in the next video, and have a blessed day.